right, so now we're gonna switch over to the team that also I kind of put in that second tier, and that's the New England Patriots.
Fucking go. I'm hyped.
Now, here's the deal. Bill Belichick said last year, "Listen, we went to 3 Super Bowls, like 4, like 5 AFC Championships games. Listen, we sold our soul, and we had to pay for it at some point. And our cap situation was trash, but we're gonna be better." Now, my dude went out in the offseason and spent like a drunken sailor who hadn't seen land in like 8 months. You know what I'm saying? Stopped over in a little, tropical paradise and let his hair down, let loose a little bit. Because my man, first day out, spent money, and it was crazy. It was like Matt Judon from the Ravens. It was tight end Palooza with Jonnu Smith, and the other guy.
Hunter Henry.
Yeah, and then the wide receiver from San Francisco, Bourne.
Andrew Bourne,
Yeah. So, I mean, he went crazy spending money. Okay? He was like, we are going to, whatever our floor of talent is, we're going to fix that right now. Okay? I guess the splashiest free agent pickup was probably Judon, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, right. I think the sleeper low key guys are the defensive tackles that he picked up. I really like both of them.
Yeah.
I know they needed wide receivers because New England Patriots are notorious for not picking the best wide receivers, and I will allow Kyler Copeland just room on that in a second. But I'm talking this out because I'm trying to see how I'm going to pick for them. So then we get to the draft, right? And I told everybody that was in earshot of me, I was like, yo, the quarterback is going to fall to him. He's not going to have to move. He is not going to have to move. All this trading up that everybody's talking about, he's not going to have to move. And lo and behold, Mac Jones fell to 15. Now, I understand there are a lot of people who are not high on Mac Jones. I am not saying that Mac Jones is the next coming of Tom Brady. I will never do that to that young man. But I will say this. Ask the wide receivers of Alabama who they want their quarterback to be. And that should tell you all you need to know on Mac Jones. If those guys who are going into the league and catching passes from Tua and catching passes from Mac Jones, and they're saying that Mac is our guy, I have more excitement about Mac Jones than, okay, he's going to be halfway decent game manager guy. Because that means there's some leadership there that we're probably not privy to. His offensive line loves him as well. All right, so their draft, as far as Mac Jones is concerned, I know people will say, "Oh, I would rather have Fields," and I don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree with any of that, but you know how Bill Belichick wants to play, and that dude doesn't want to turn the ball over to save his life. I've never seen anybody value possessions and manipulate the clock so he gets the last possession before the end of the first half, especially if he's getting the ball second half. I've never seen anybody do it better than him. So I'm high on Mac Jones. I'm also high on the other Alabama guy that they got. It's Christian Barmore. I think their defensive tackle rotation just got a lot bigger. they're going to have a lot more depth. And then we're not even talking about the additions that are coming back because of they decided to opt out last year because my boy Dante Hightower is back. And football is better with Dante Hightower in it.
Yes, sir.
My life is better with Dante Hightower crushing running backs, making people look really silly, driving guards all the way back to the quarterback, and the quarterback just looking super scared as 3 Patriots just topple him, for that coverage sack that they usually get. Shout out to Stephon Gilmore. Hey, bro, I don't know if you're going to get your money. All right? I don't. I hope you do. I hope you stay a Patriot. I really do. Because I like you a lot. You like my second favorite corner. Shout out to Jalen Ramsey. That's my dude. But that's the key, right? It's Stephon Gilmore getting that squared away. I think it will work because both parties seem like it's not a big deal for some reason. So something's going on there. And I just like their draft. So tell me, Nico, why I should be, knowing who Bill Belichick is, why should I be not confident in their ability to bounce back this year?
Well, overall, I think I'm not super unconfident in their ability, and I kind of like their draft too. Though the thing you talked about Mac Jones and his wide receivers liking him better, I kind of hated that storyline because, like, for Jalen Waddle and for Devonta Smith, Mac Jones has kind of always been their quarterback. Last year, they were backups behind Judy Ruggs. So they were running with the number 2 team, which is the team Jones was the quarterback of. So really, it hasn't been as much of an adjustment for these guys. They never played with Tua as much as they did play with Mac Jones. Overall, though, I think Mac Jones got a little bit overhated. We've seen much worse quarterbacks in the first round recently. I think he's got the timing down to a T. He can be that prototypical game manager. The only thing he's really lacking now is that plus athleticism you see from the more current day game managers. But everything else you said, I pretty much agree with. I don't really like Nelson Aguilar, but the remainder of their free agency moves I thought were excellent. I really like Christian Barrymore. I really like Ramondre Stevenson. So overall, I was pretty high on their draft. So I'll let my guy Kyler get to gushing about his squad.
Thank you. Okay, we're breaking down the offense first, right? All right, Mac Jones. I'm not a huge fan of Mac Jones, to be honest, right? Not because he's a bad prospect, but just because he's so, like, slightly above average as a game manager that we're, like, he's going to be good enough to where we're stuck with him for the next 10 years, but, like, he's not bad enough to where we can get a different one. Like, we're just going to be stuck with him.
Can I give you one thing, though, with that?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so Trent Dilfer, I don't know if anybody's catching his act of late and what he's up to. He's a head football coach in a high school down south. He's also doing like the Elite 11 deal. That's his deal. The one thing that I have to give this man a lot of credit for is he's very self-aware of what he was. He's also very self-aware of his kind of place in the game. And he's given me a lot of tremendous insight into quarterbacks. He was the first guy to clue me into the Jared Goff thing, that he couldn't read two sides. He couldn't read the whole field. He was a half a field. He read half the field. That was it. He was the first guy to clue me in on that. Okay. The one thing that he did say about Mac Jones' feet is that he doesn't need to have like crazy athleticism because he finds a way in the pocket to keep himself looking downfield, mechanics correct, to launch. so he can kind of slide to the left, slide to the right. And I know you're a Patriots fan, and I don't want to throw the name out there, but there was another quarterback that was pretty good at that, and he was there for about 20 years, and you guys had a lot of success. Now, I don't think you're going to have that success with Mac Jones because that's putting a lot on a young man. But if he does have the feet that Trent Dilfer is talking about, I think it might be a little bit better than what we think what he is.
Sure. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping he does well. I'm just saying, just from what I've seen, I'm not super high on him to be like an elite pick. And even if he is a good game manager, I'm not thrilled about drafting a game manager in the first round. But with the rest of the draft, right? Christian Barmore, I do like as a pick. Knew we were going to get Alabama boys in this draft. We always do. But Barmore's one I actually like. Ramondre Stevenson, I don't love as a pick. He's a fine running back, but like we already have Damian Harris is that type. We're probably going to cut Sonny Michel because we took him, but Michel kind of does that same thing. And Tylan Wallace was on the board. I like Tylan Wallace a lot. I think Tylan Wallace would have been a better pick for us. But the rest of the draft was fine. It was, it was an okay draft. It graded like a B- draft, to be honest. Didn't love it. But the offseason, solid. I don't love Nelson Aguilar, but we needed separation, so I see what the thought process was. We ended up with him and Bourne as the two receivers we got in free agency. I, as just an optimistic Patriots fan going into free agency, was hoping for the Curtis Samuel Marvin Jones pairing. I thought that would have been really cool, but is what it is. And Aguilar did improve with the Raiders, so it's not as disgusting as it would have been like 3 years ago, right? And then at tight end, you got Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. I like the pairing a lot. I think they fit well together. I think Jonnu is one of my favorite tight ends in the league, to be honest. I think he's going to be more of the primary pass catcher, and Hunter Henry is going to do a little bit more blocking, but they can both block. They're both good at that. They can both pass catch. And we're going to go with a lot of that two tight end, run heavy system, quick passing game, which I think benefits both Mac Jones and Cam Newton. And I think if we're going from a fantasy perspective, I think the whole offseason and everything they've done, no matter who's starting at quarterback, means Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson and Sonny Michel, I guess, if he's still there, are really going to benefit in fantasy. They're going to get so many touches, so many red zone opportunities, especially if it's Mac Jones instead of Cam, taking the rushing opportunities away from the goal line. Damian Harris, I love in fantasy. He's probably the only Patriot I'm really taking too much. Jacoby Myers is a good value, I guess, late in drafts because he's the wide receiver, 82, I think, off the top of my head, being drafted right now. But Damian Harris is a home run pick. You said what?
Jonnu in the late rounds.
I don't hate Jonnu in the late rounds, but I like, like a Tyler Higbee instead, just because he's the only guy. But Jonnu's not a terrible late tight end pick. But I think our offseason was good. Getting Judon in free agency. We overpaid for the production, but I think we needed it. So I'm not, mad at the price that we gave him. And like you said, we got a lot of guys coming back. Dante Hightower. We signed Lawrence Guy, which I didn't think was going to happen, just because our salary cap is a little thin. But Lawrence Guy is so underrated. I really like Lawrence Guy a lot.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I like him a lot. J.C. Jackson could continue to develop. I'm hoping Stephon Gilmore comes back. I doubt it, but please, Stephon, please come back. I love you. But yeah, I just think that overall the additions we made were really good. But, it's a lot of fill-in pieces that are going to step in and improve on what we were last year. But I don't know if that's enough to beat a more young and up-and-coming team in the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, how about the development of Chase Winovich and Josh Uche to go along with Ronnie Perkins and Matt Judon? Do you think that these guys now, if they're in a rotational situation, are going to be more impactful on that defense?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Chase Winovich is the guy I've always been higher on than most. I like Winovich a lot. He's shown a lot of flashes to me. Also, Anthony Jennings, that outside linebacker, is another younger guy that could develop. So that front seven has some more pass rushers that, it can't be as bad as last year. Last year was hard to watch with our pass rush. It was bad. Also on the back end, Kyle Duggar. I love Kyle Duggar. I think he can develop into a really good starting safety. He can place him in the box, linebacker and things like that, and do a lot for us. Kyle Duggar's so fucking good. I love Kyle Duggar so much. Please come on the show, Kyle Duggar. Um, God, Kyle Duggar's just the best. Like, listen, I love me some Patrick Chung. Patrick Chung is one of my favorite Patriots players ever, but now that he's gone, I need a safety to root for. It's Kyle Duggar. Also, shout out to Devin McCourty. Devin McCourty doing his thing still. We got Jawan Bentley, who can, still develop. He's a younger guy that can hopefully learn from Dante Hightower, and he won't have as much pressure on him to really step up because Hightower is actually on the field this season, so we can just have a little responsibility taken off his shoulders, and kind of ease his way into his improvement. So I guess that's just the overall evaluation. Like I said, I think it's going to be close between them and the Dolphins. I have the Dolphins slightly above just because they have more guys that I think can take a jump and make it to where they win a couple more games. I think that could be the difference. Is they have so many options of guys that can if they break out in this game, they can win this one. And I don't think we have as many of those guys per se, but I like what we did a lot, and I think we're on an uptick. We knew Bill Belichick wasn't going to sit around and rebuild, but I think even this spending spree was more than people would have expected, so I'm happy with it.
So I'm going to give my prediction now. And Boston, you are welcome. My time in Brookline was awesome. My time all over that state was pretty good. But you guys are looking, you know what? The hoodie is special to me. And I think that he will be invigorated by just the toys that he has on defense. I'm going to go 11-6 for the hoodie. I know that's high, but he's special to me. He's a special coach. I've always he's taken 2 titles away from me. So, the first one that he got with New England, and then our 13-3 debacle where we couldn't sniff the end zone. So I'm not going to even talk about that. Those are still fresh scars for me. So I like the hoodie because I think the hoodie does something that a lot of coaches do not do. Is that his game plan on the fly, his adjustments on the fly is still some of the best in football. And now that you upgraded the talent and you got guys back from last year who weren't playing, and they were critical pieces last year, right? I mean, I'm sorry. You take Dante Hightower out of that defense, it's bigger than taking any other middle linebacker out of their defense. That is the defensive team captain. That is the guy who kind of is the new Patriot way guy, right? To me, personally, he's the heart and soul of that defense. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He was gone. I think he's back. A year off, so no nagging injuries, full tilt. We get to see the best of Dante Hightower. So that's the reason why I'm going 11 wins for the Patriots until I see it myself. He does more with less than anybody else, and I think that he could somehow get this team to 11 wins.
Yeah, I mean, 11 I think is fair. Shout out to the Patriots. Please win 11. I think my prediction is more so 9-8. I think we're 1 year and 1 off season away from truly getting the pieces we need. I think we're kind of in a transition phase with our team of, because Bill Belichick switches identities a lot. And I think this is one of those years where, we're going to learn to switch. And then next year is where we truly lock in. I would expect this team to really figure themselves out in the second half of the season, more so than the first, especially after Tom Brady kicks our ass in week 4. Oh, my God. That's going to be so bad. But he might throw 8 touchdowns. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, I think 9 is where I'd go. I think our ceiling is 12 or 13. And our floor, I think we're a pretty safe team to be pretty good. I think our floor is like 6. I know I said it with Miami too, but I think we're kind of in similar boats. So I think, but that's the unbiased take. Biased take, 17-0 season incoming. Go Patriots.
I think I agree with where Kyler is more on the team. I see maybe a little bit more downside for maybe like a 5 and what would that be? 5 and 11?
5 and 12.
5 and 12.
NFL
Jeez.
New math.
Yeah, math is hard.
A 5 and 12 finish, maybe if you're starting Cam Newton for a large swath of the season, I could see that. But also, like I've been someone who's historically higher on Cam Newton's ability to put it together. So I also see like maybe a higher upside for like a 12-win team or something like that. My prediction would probably be though closer to you, around the 9-win mark, 9 and 8, 8 and 9, something like that. And the line on this one is 9.5. So Vince, for the first time, you're a good amount above the line.
Always take the over with the hoodie. You know what I'm talking about. That's really what I'm basing it on. I know that the talent tells me that team should win 9 games. I know for a fact that that's what it's telling me. I know. So I understand what I'm doing. I'm going out on a limb for the greatest NFL head coach of all time. That's what I'm doing. I'm going out on a limb for Belichick and his ability to squeeze victories, because there's nobody better to me in the NFL that takes advantage of teams making dumb mistakes. And it seems to happen every single week in the NFL. And somehow, some way, a third period defensive pass interference cost said team of AFC a victory against the Patriots. And it happens every year. If you tell me that team last year was like a 6-win, 7-win team with all of the stuff that went down with them, I don't know how he got that team to that record. I have no idea how he got that squad to that record. So now that he has raised the floor on the talent, I'm gonna definitely say 11. So I know I'm over on what Vegas is talking about. So that's my thing, and I think the Jedi Master shows Flores like, hey, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, that's reasonable for sure. Real quick, I just want to put this prediction out there on the airwave, so if it comes true, I can be applauded as a genius on Twitter. Don't be surprised if in the AFC playoff race, the Patriots and Dolphins tie, and the Dolphins get in the playoffs, because we can never beat the Dolphins at home.
Yeah, no doubt. There's something with Miami. Yeah, there's something with Miami, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the Jets, that 2-0 that you get from the Jets, and then they take advantage of whomever else is on their schedule. Is Dallas on their schedule this year, Kyler?
I don't remember. I think they are.
See, there you go.
I think we do have Dallas.
You're welcome. There it is.
Yeah, that's a W.
Yeah, that's a W. Hey, Dallas fans, stop. Don't even do it. I don't even want to hear it. Don't even want to hear it, because we're gonna get to your squad in about 4 weeks. Okay?
No, we're not. 4 and 13.
Yeah, we're gonna get to your squad in about 4 weeks. Okay? I don't want to hear from you yet. This is all AFC.
It sounds like I'll be defending the Cowboys fans.
Oh my God! Here we go. All right.
Can we start beef with the Cowboys on this episode and just say that the Patriots are actually America's team? Just want to put that out there. Anyways, we can move on.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to move on from that. Go ahead. No, this is podcast.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. All right. First of all,
talk your shit, bro.
All right. So you're America's team, right? Cowboys claim to be America's team. They haven't won since 1996. 1996. I don't even know what was on the top of the charts on 1996. Well, okay, what songs were even popping in 1996? Couldn't tell you. I don't know. Let me look up. Hold on. Let me do a quick
like
Google
the
search
song
of the 1990s. The thong song. If the last time you won the Super Bowl,
Cisco.
or the thong song was hot,
Shout outs to Cisco.
you can't be America's team. You can't be America's team if you're listening to the thong song winning the Super Bowl. Let's see: Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, Celine Dion, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Tony Braxton,
Crossroads, right on.
fucking Whitney Houston, R.I.P. Whitney Houston, and Tupac, R.I.P. Tupac, LL Cool J. Yeah, I see R. Kelly in that list. You get, bro. Last time they won a Super Bowl, R. Kelly wasn't even canceled yet, so you can't be America's team. I'm just saying. Shout out Patriots.
And guess who's on Hard Knocks this year? The Cowboys, because Jerry.
They're fucked.
Jerry Jones loves it.
I mean, there is a team that was built around laborers like steel workers and has more of a consistent history that you could maybe make an argument to be America's team, but as a Canadian, I don't want to make that one.
Oh man, well, first of all, if we throwing teams out, you know what I'm saying, we were in the heartland. We were in St. Louis.
All right, bro.
And I know St. Louis don't like the Rams, you know what I'm saying? But we back in the live, baby. You know what I'm saying? Listen, St. Louis people, I'm sorry for y'all. Listen, Kroenke did y'all dirty, but hey, shouts out to Stan Kroenke for bringing the Rams back to Los Angeles, and we got a beautiful stadium. So super excited about that. We can also have like a WrestleMania here, so I'm good with all the slander that I get from St. Louis. So sorry about you guys not having a football team, and I hope that you get one in expansion. And that's pretty much about it. We got to move on to Buffalo because